Alright guys, welcome back to the stream. Just getting some stuff set up here. We're at Miami Executive Airport and we are going to be taking off to head over to Orlando, Florida in the Eviation Alice. Flew this aircraft yesterday from Key West over to Miami Executive and we're now all in on the runway at Miami Executive. We just taxied up here. I was not going to start this stream. However, I just decided to go ahead and put the aircraft through its paces out here in Miami. Now, the weather out in Miami is going to be an interesting one in Orlando. Sorry. Um, it is right now pretty bad, so to speak, because due to the hurricane and so on. We're checking the METAR here right now, and at Orlando, we are experiencing up to 29 knots. It's marginal VFR, and we have broken clouds down to 1900, so we're not expecting to break out of clouds until 1,900 feet with a light rain, 22 degrees Celsius, 10-mile visibility. I think that is going to be above 3,000, and again, winds are 20 to 29 knots. Now we know that the Eviation is not going to be able to, or is not supposed to land in those types of conditions. However, we are going to attempt this. We are going to attempt this flight. So we're going to be cruising at 10,000 feet today. I'm going to go ahead and get rolling before we really have anyone coming in because I am flying on VATSIM today. I don't have any traffic coming out here, which I'm going to just go ahead and pop our range to see. And we are going to go ahead and start moving. So let's go, switch this over its power mode, and then we're going to go ahead and increase the power. And we're off. Our airspeed's alive. 60 knots. 80 knots, we're rotating at 100. Rotate. And we are airborne. Gear up. Alright, so we're just going to trim the aircraft out for the climb. We climb out of executive. Now we're going to go ahead and get our flaps up. Alright, we are experiencing a little bit of crosswind here, 16 knots off our nose for our left. So we are just climbing out pretty good right now. Alright, so that's the middle marker right there. We are just trimming for us to get our 10-degree nose up pitch. And now our autopilot can come on while I go ahead and work on getting everything else. Let's go MFD. And now we're going to go ahead and sync our heading mode, level change, switch the heading, and we're going to turn for, or start making our turn over to our waypoint here. So we can start intercepting. This is a pretty cool aircraft. I love the concept of the Eviation Alice. Let's go ahead and get. Alright, that was way too much noise. They definitely are gonna get this. Gonna have to try to get the sounds for that AC down a little bit, but. Very cool aircraft nonetheless. If you notice, all around here it's bare, so it's pretty clear out here because all the clouds are getting sucked over to Orlando. This is the updated version of the Eviation Alice. So for some reason it got the user map. That's interesting. Okay, I see what's going on here. So it's following our path, but it's not going to follow the path until a certain point. All right, but we're in our climb right now, and we're just going to go ahead and keep it on power mode so that we can climb out. Right now, we only have a range of about 241 miles. However, once we get up to cruise level, which is going to be flight level 100, we are going to go ahead and pull back to range mode and pull our power back to maintain at least 200 knots in the cruise. That way we can get the maximum amount of range on our aircraft. Right now, we are climbing pretty steep for this aircraft. We usually do climb at a little bit shallower angle, but we do have the power, so we're trying to get up to 10,000 as quickly as possible to ensure that we don't skylark in the airspace here. So now let's go ahead and switch over to nav mode. And we're going to follow our navigation out. All right, here we go, 10,000 feet, switching to range, and pull the power back. All right, so while it increases speed so that we can get up to our cruise speed, let's switch over to decimal 8 here for our comm. Transfer. As our set, let's pull back on the power here so we don't maintain a ridiculous speed here. And there we go. Let's pull back on that power a little bit. Oh, at least on that power a little bit. I don't like that numbers. All right, so here we go. We're heading over to MCO, and we are maintaining our altitude here. The livery for today is going to be this beautiful black and white livery. It looks so amazing flying over Miami today. And you will expect a lot of wind sounds because we are expecting a little or experiencing a lot of weather here today. For some reason, it shows something very interesting here. Yeah, it shows up. The map does not align with where we're going right now. Alright, at 10,000, we'll get our landing lights off here. We're all good. Alright, if you can start seeing those clouds right now over Orlando. Right, we're maintaining good at 215 knots, and we are holding at 10,000, which is very good. As we maintain our altitude here. The wind sounds a bit overdone. I would have loved to know that, while you're flying this aircraft, it's pretty quiet. And that's the whole premise of the aircraft, to be a lot quieter, as opposed to having this loud, obnoxious noise of the engines or the vibration. Um, However, I'm not an Alice pilot. I've never flown the Alice. I've never gotten a chance to see it. However, you know, from my experience, I would feel that they would have done differently with this. But we are cruising pretty good. Bit checks on our aircraft here. Okay, so electricals look good. Our range look good, and we do have power. Our temps in our cabin is okay enough. And our pressurization and everything looks good over there. Hey there, LivToAir, how are you? I just felt I needed to stream this beautiful aircraft right now. Uh, so we're heading over to MCO today from Miami Executive, and we are just cruising at about 10,000, maintaining 32 knots of that crosswind. Hopefully we are able to land. I know we're gonna have a very difficult time landing this aircraft. However, it's going to be interesting. It's up to 30 knots, and we'll see how we manage that flight. All right, so just past Fort Lauderdale, off to our right there, and we're just maintaining 10,000 as we cross over to our next waypoint here. One thing I would have loved is for the panels to be a little bit better smoothing with the textures on the panels. I'm not sure if it's because of my graphics setting or if this is a little bit too sharp. I think we can get a little bit of smoothing done here, some anti-aliasing done here, or rounded off on the edges to make it look a lot smoother. Some of the texturing may be off, however, we can work on that, All right, so our cabin temps are okay. We don't need any our AC on right now. We have our blowers going and we're all set. One thing extra I would do is also persistence. I would love to see this aircraft move into persistence, because it's very interesting that every time that I fly, I'm gonna come back and be back at 100% like I did charge the thing. Um, it's right now I'm just nitpicking. I'm just nitpicking right now. So let's see. We're not going to this waypoint for sure. We're going to go ahead and cut across and then head over this way. I'm not sure what waypoint this is. I would have loved for it to give me the option to show the waypoint itself, but it's okay. So we're turning into the wind here a little bit, and let's go ahead and prepare for our arrival. Um, we have the Goofy 7 and the approach where RNAV 36 left. Transition gonna be, let me check on my sim brief here. Baron, let's do Laura as our IAF. Let's preview on the map, Laura, and then we're in. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and load that, and then we will follow through with it and see. There we go, we're all set. All right, so we do see some rains out here already. So that means we're gonna be, it's coming around this way. So we're gonna be looking out for that convective cloud, which is somewhere around here. It's gonna be moving this way and cutting through our path, but hopefully we are gonna be beyond this before it runs over here. We're gonna try our best to remain within the VFR capabilities of this aircraft. If we have to climb, we will climb to go above the clouds, or we are going to need to start descending, or we're going to remain IFR. Either way, for now, we are all good. We do have sufficient battery power so that we are able to return back to either Fort Lauderdale or to Miami if we need to. However, we're not expecting that for now. We're just going to go ahead and keep on moving along here. All right, weather looks like it's holding over that lake right there. And I love the fact that they added this. This is just cool that they have added the map mode so you can look through. I would love for them to be able to, and well, when I resubscribe to Navigraph, I would love for it to be able to load up here, so I don't have to load it up in here. I could just pull it up here and just monitor it. That would be pretty cool to add. And also the tablet battery needs to start running down. It's not never 100%, but let's see. We are heading over to Bogey, and we are maintaining pretty good. Winds to a little bit high. We're getting like 37 knots off our nose here. Once we get these types of high winds, we gotta always be monitoring our battery. I mean, it's pretty okay because then it cools our motors. However, I don't want to be, changing any power settings to burn a little bit more battery here than I need to. But we do have sufficient enough battery for us to get over to MCO. It's not that far. We still got at least 500 nautical miles of usable power left. At this point, we are in our cruise power mode, which is right about here. And if I were to go around or anything, this is definitely going to go down because it is going to use a lot of power. However, that's all good. We should, and I'm just taking a look at our nearest airports here, if in the event that we would need to go around from there. The weather around here does look, as we get closer to the destination airport, the weather is going to be a lot worse, or it's getting a lot worse as we head over. If you notice that, this waypoint, I'm not sure what it is. However, it's maybe a waypoint that is, um, or maybe a double waypoint, and it most likely thinks that's where we're going. However, we're just going to head over here. I would love it to pick up. I mean, it looks like it does pick up the sim brief profile, but this should actually be different than this. But it's all good. It's all good. It's a beautiful aircraft. Now we're starting to see some of the rains that are gonna start coming up around here. The rains are holding. Baron, and then once we get over to Matlock, we're gonna go ahead and activate, because there's MadSec right there, and I think I should be able to remove MadSec. Should I? Yep, I can. Let's remove this waypoint so that we can connect the points, and there we go. All right, so all in all, pretty good. Let's just check our altimeter, 2969er, we're good. Oh, okay. Let's see. PI, Palm Beach. Oh, okay, that's cool. I definitely did not zoom in, but then now it actually shows a lot better. Because the only thing I saw was user and user right there. So I was like, okay, well, what it is doing there, but I don't actually have Palm Beach loaded here as a waypoint for the flight plan in my sim brief though. All right, well, you learn something new every day. This is most likely my third time actually flying the Alice. Yesterday I did land it in executive, and yesterday as well I flew with Island Sim Pilot on his stream using this aircraft. I did not stream it, however, because of the fact that he does not have the aircraft, it's not shown up. I would love an MTL file so that we can look, or to be able to be provided to our community so that this will be able to be seen, or to be able to be seen on VATSIM, because VATSIM does not know how to show this aircraft correctly, or multiplayer does not do it. I love that. I mean, although we can fly a little bit faster, I'm not gonna, because of the fact that we're flying into a storm here, I'm not gonna do and just, put it at full power and try to cruise at a faster speed. I'm also thinking about contingencies, especially with any aircraft that I fly. I will be thinking about contingencies, including where I can divert to in the event that I'm not able to land at my destination. We still got an hour, almost 2 hours worth of power going here. Although I can pull back on the power and get more, that means that my speed is going to decrease, which means that my air time is going to increase. It still is counterintuitive, so our speeds are going to be pretty okay for that. All right, we're cruising 397. Beautiful livery. Definitely needed to put some form of PV registration on there. November, like mine right now is November 650 Echo Victor. I would love to get some form of aircraft registration, because on the aircraft that did do the test flight, you do have the registration here, but those are nitpicky. Those are just small things, not anything that is too significant, really. also, yeah, the audios regarding the AC. I think I am supposed to have some a little better audio in terms of the AC. With the audios that I did have, yeah, that's what I know. The default livery does have the registration, but I like this livery, this black in white, this panda livery. Um, that is an awesome looking livery right there. We are getting blown off course a little bit. If you notice that we are a little bit off our course, 35 knots or 40 knots, we are going to get blown off a little bit, and the aircraft is going to try its best to maintain. But we are, that's like minor deviations, and I highly doubt ATC definitely knows that we are getting blown around by wind, so we should have no issues there. Let's check our advanced sim radar. And it is shown that we are supposed to be entering the area of rain just before Fort Pierce. However, we're still okay. We don't have any significant or we don't have any ATC online. For some reason, this is the first time I've seen they have not been online. Now, the weather out here is just high winds due to the fact that you're getting some, rain and wind bands. The rain and wind bands that get off the hurricane. I know about it. I live out in the Caribbean, so those wind bands to whip off that hurricane and they, come off and get back to you, even if the hurricane is miles away. Yeah, I did take a look at the Wikipedia on it, and also I did follow up a few you know posts before going ahead and grabbing this aircraft and flying it. Um, it's like about an 8-minute flight up to a low altitude actually. However, I would love that they, test it a little bit more. I think for the most part, they are going to try to, if they're going back to the drawing board to try to get some different or more, how would I say, data to go back and do more things, then yeah, then it should be okay. All right, so let's see what we got here. This is a pretty as you see, we're off our point just by a little bit. The nose is just barely touching on there. 40 knots of wind speed here. I'm hoping that we don't get like I'm hoping that we don't get somewhere like a crosswind for this line, and I would definitely be angry if I got a crosswind for this line. And last night, while attempting to land this, I had a crosswind of up to a crosswind of 20 knots and gust up to 32 knots, which was very, very, very interesting. And the fact that you have um, this aircraft full deflection to the left, and I was like literally crabbing almost full way across, and the runway itself was blocked by this area here, so I had to use the vectoring from or the data that is popped up here that shows my current track to the runway on our PFD here. I would have the new prototype that they are working on would definitely. I think they looked at it and were like, hey, you know what? We are not getting performance that we are expecting. So we got to work on a different prototype. I think what they need to, put in mind is maybe some form of um, way for some form of gear reduction or something to reduce the amount of power the engine need to deliver, and also a better cooling system to keep the motors cooler a lot longer. Um, so they would definitely need to work on, getting it, being able to, fly at a pretty slow pace, and the alternator working to increase its range as well. Because for now, the range on it is pretty abysmal, and it's like for me, the way that I see it, it's very abysmal. The only thing is the batteries are not like fuel where you have a certain amount that you gotta put in. So you can put 100% battery, you can charge this up to 100% and take off and not be worried about weight. So that's the best thing about this. So the weight never changes regardless of how much power that you put in there. However, I feel that they are looking more into the lines of, the range itself is pretty low. So they are going to work on trying to upgrade their either the engines. I mean, the design of the airframe is pretty good. So the fact that this is like a very sleek wing, it increases its glide distance, and also the flat end under here is gonna be an area of lift as well, so it reduces the work that the wings has to put in. So you don't have to actually be trimming out, or the aircraft does not have to be trimmed those up to maintain its altitude from here. With the high tail design, it also assists with its stall speed as well, so it can fly a lot slower as opposed to the tail boom below there. So we should be all. I think they are gonna work on it here. Their designs are gonna be. I'm sure that they do have a couple of bright minds working on that. All right, so we do have submarine out there, and right now, there are holes below, so that means that below us, somewhere, I'm gonna guess between 7,000, 6 to 7,000 feet, we should be able to break out of clouds around this area, and that's gonna be around up here. All right, so the Avon Airport Park range, okay, 90 FL. So in the event, we should be able to use that as a reference. 90 Fox Lima. So we're just gonna go ahead and always keep an eye on our, diversions, because I am starting to see the wind speeds increasing, and we are getting a little bit of turbulence now and then, some updrafts. So the aircraft will pitch up and then down again. You will see it move. Um, so let's see here. We're up to Funner and then Baltic and MCO right over here. So we're going to be entering that. Pretty cool. I want to keep eyes on this here. I will definitely let you guys know. You will see a little bit of stuttering here. Definitely that is going to be my system itself, not the sim. I am flying this on a relatively abysmal system, and although it does, have, although it is showing up smooth here for me, it may stutter a little bit for you guys out there. But the main thing is this aircraft is very, very, very low load on your system itself. So what you're seeing there, that little stuttering that you're seeing there, is basically my OBS itself, because I am still able to move smoothly. I think my OBS is just you know, creating that type of stuttering. I'm not sure why. All right, so we have 0% drop frames, it says, and the stream looks okay. So right now we are flying this on an i5 7500 or 7400. I almost said 75, upgraded myself there. GTX 980 with 20 gigabytes of RAM, and the GTX 980 only has 4 gigs of RAM or VRAM. My flight sim is on my SSD, and this LivToAir is on my SSD as well. So, oh, we're heading headwind now. And I'm on DDR4 RAM, not DDR5. So that's the things that we did have, or I was able to purchase at the time. However, you know, it is a pretty modest system, and it does fly well. For now, whatever you see that's stuttering, I'm not entirely sure why OBS is stuttering so badly. I'm gonna maybe, you know, get a few things out of the way here, so that I can maybe get some performance back. I'm not actually getting that bad of, or that weak of a performance. Again, it's smooth out here for me. If I had to bring up my FPS counter here, see FPS counter. See if we can get that FPS counter pulled up using our. All right, there we go. Yes. All right, let's do Alt R. Come on, it did say Alt R for that. Nope, let's go back. Let's see. Yeah, it says Alt R for this, but it's not being pulled up. Okay, well, it's not popping up for me, but let's see. Let's see if we got it. No, it does not show up for me. That's an interesting thing. Oh well, I'm not gonna bother with it too much here, um, because NVIDIA decides they don't want to pop up. It does not want to pop up. Let's see. Okay, so I do see that. But it is maintaining fine. Okay, yeah, so it's OBS that is causing the issues here. We're not experiencing any significant lag. We're not supposed to be experiencing any significant lag here. So OBS is just taking the piss, so there will be buffering now and then, because it did say that you guys will be experiencing buffering. I am monitoring it from my phone as well, and I'm not seeing any buffering, or I just pulled it up on my phone and I didn't see any buffering here. Well, yeah, I do see stuttering now and then, but that's an OBS issue. So, I think OBS is getting a little bit tight here. For me, that's OBS. OBS is being tight. All right. Well, I mean, for me, it's pretty bad for you guys to not be able to see what's going on properly here. All right. Let's see. I would love to be able to click on this and move it, but I can't do it from here. I can most likely do it from the other thing, but yeah. This got me tight. All right, so we do have proper energy here. We still have about an hour of. Okay, so it does look like we definitely are gonna have some form of crosswind when we start for that landing. All right, the good thing about this is I can take a look, see how our runways are situated here. Oh, so we are definitely gonna be getting a left crosswind here when we approach into this MCO. I love seeing the ground view. This is like game changing, especially when you start flying on VATSIM. I love the fact that you can see that, because while flying on VATSIM, it is tedious to find out exactly where you're going if you don't know the airport itself. So we are waiting for our top of descent. Let's go ahead and get our VNAV set up for this aircraft. VNAV direct to maybe, and we're gonna activate our vertical aviation. And let's go ahead and just wait a little bit. All right, here comes our top of descent. So VNAV is set. Let's pull on our power. Let's get our flight level change going, and then we should start descending. And then it's going to follow the VNAV path. Once we're below 10,000, our landing lights are coming on as we attempt to capture our vertical path here. Alright, so guys, I'm sorry if this stream is going to be a little bit buggy for you guys. If you hear, my audio is pretty good, so it's just video that is experiencing some form of issues here. All right, so there we go. We're on the VNAV path, and we can go ahead and increase our power here a little bit to maintain our speed. So we are definitely going to be experiencing a crosswind here for the arrival. So we're going to start descending through the clouds here. And because we're going direct, I can see below the clouds here. So then that means that, again, below 7,000, 7 to 6,000, we should be breaking out of the clouds and descending in. Let's check our METARs again. So it's overcast at 2300, broken 1900, still at 22, 29 knots. So I would say it's 20 knots, gusting to 29. Winds are going to be 300 at 20, gusting 29. Light rain, 22 degrees Celsius, 29.51. I think I just pressed my N key for the navigation. It does not pop up. All right, let us go ahead and call up Orlando traffic here and let them know that we're inbound. Orlando traffic, November 650 Echo Victor. We are on descent from 7,500 for 3,000 on the arrival runway 35 left. Orlando traffic. All right, so once we get off of our waypoint here, we're going to call back in once we start making our turn in. We're going to go ahead and call up again. All right. There's an aircraft coming in right now to land at the airport where I live at. Okay. All right, so we have not yet started getting through clouds yet. However, there we go. We're off of Laura. All right, so we should expect the rain between Laura and X-Bond. So below these clouds, we do have rain. You can see them. You can see how dark it gets over here. But we are maintaining a pretty good airspeed, and we're maintaining pretty good power here. So we should be able to, in the event a go-around is necessary, we can be able to make that go-around happen. So we're going to pull off on the power so that we can start slowing down. Orlando traffic, November 650 Echo Victor. We're off of Laura, heading over to X-Bond for the arrival runway 36 left. Orlando traffic. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can get MCO's charts pulled up here for this arrival. All right, so we're 3611 RNAV GPS, and our minimums are 480 feet. If I can remember where I gotta put this thing in, it would be great. Oh, there it is, 480. It's in utilities, guys. All right, so we have not gotten into the rains here yet. All right, let's go ahead and switch our approach mode to on. There you go. We're going to so that we can follow our glide path in, and now begins the smooth transition down from here. Let's see if we can get a nice little screenshot of that. That cloud surfing down. I love it. Move. There you go. And again, guys, remember we are experiencing some of the graphic illusion once you start going through the clouds like this. That's why they say you gotta have your IFR rating, and you have to be IFR rated to fly through clouds. Alright, sorry, I was just sending a message here, so I kept my head down for a little bit. Alright, so our airspeed is dropping, and we have not broken through clouds yet. Remember, 480 feet is our minimums, and we are coming through those clouds, and our airspeed is bleeding off here a little bit. Let's switch over to power mode so that we can begin to, you know, fight through this. Orlando Tower. Let's switch over to Tower. 118.45. So we're gonna go ahead to COM. 118.450, and we're gonna have to transfer that. Orlando traffic, November 650 Echo Victor. We are established on runway 36 left on final at MBB. Alright, let's see. We're gonna pull back on the power here so that we can slow it down a little bit more. Alright, so we are getting power out.
2500.
Okay, yeah, that's really loud. Alright, so this is what it looks like to come through Orlando here, guys. That stuff literally scared the crap out of me here in 2500, so loud. But let's get our first degree of flaps in, and then we're gonna go ahead and get some power in to maintain our airspeed. All right, and maybe here, and let's go ahead and zoom in so that we can view. All right, I can still see the ground, just barely see the ground as we get in. So let's go ahead and get our gear down as soon as we break through these clouds here. And there you go, gear down. All right, we're gonna put in some power so that we can maintain our approach speed. And we're gonna go ahead and once we are stabilized and we can see the runway, we are gonna go ahead with our full flaps, and then we are gonna be fully stabilized for this approach. We are gonna maintain approach speed between 140 and 130 knots so that we can ensure that we are coming in good. All right, let's pull back on the power. Don't want to go above our approach speed here. So this wind speed has gone down. It was about 39 knots, so now the wind speed did go down a little bit. Still not yet seeing the runway, but we do have, I'm gonna wait for that 1000 call out because it is loud. All right, so I do see the runway right now. There it is, and we should be okay. Full flaps, and we are gonna go ahead and switch off our autopilot for landing in a sec here. All right, we are getting down below our minimum speed that we want to be at. Increasing our power to maintain. I think if we go back and re-watch this stream, it is going to be a lot smoother, but for some reason, it is giving me some real bad stutter in here. All right.
$500.
All right, let's go ahead and try to get some power in. All right, so we're off the autopilot right now, and I can see what the autopilot was dealing with. Wow, okay. Come on. There we go. We are maintaining.
300.
There we go. Okay.
200.
There we go. And
100. 50. 40. 30. 20.
Oop, we're floating here. We literally floated that landing. And
10.
that aircraft is really low, bro. All right, let's try to get our elevons in, or our elevators into the wind. All right, let's get on our brakes. All right, so let's go ahead and try to control this aircraft off of the runway. All right, we're gonna get off left here, switch into taxi power, taxi lights on. Let's get our landing lights off. I'm gonna taxi over to our GA gates over here, and let's get out our flaps, and then we're gonna taxi in here. Was pretty good, at least 27 knots of that crosswind. I'm not sure why OBS is literally creating a big issue for me for those streams. I'm thinking that due to the server that we are on, it's within the RNAE servers, so we are experiencing a little bit of connection issues here. However, we are at GA. We're heading over to the GA stands here. Yeah, should be all good. So, oh nope, not our beacon. We need our anti-collision lights off. And let's taxi over to the GA ramps here. All right, let's turn into the stands right here. Okay, so we didn't get any rain. They did say light rain, but maybe it's the area that has that light rain. Oh, no, that's not GA stands. That are cargo ramps. We are on the cargo ramps. That is very funny. All right, now I'm experiencing some Okay, I think. Yeah, I am experiencing some stuttering right now. Yeah, the map mode was causing a little bit of stuttering there. All right, so we're just taxiing out to our GA from our GA stands here, and yeah, the map seems to create some stuttering, especially if you quickly zoom in and then zoom out. I have seen the same issue happen with the I have seen the issue happen with PMDG as well, the 737. So it's something that has happened, and all you gotta do is just avoid zooming into the map too quickly there. I'm not gonna stop. We're heading all the way down here, and then we're gonna park somewhere around here. Let's just say that we are coming all the way back here and then stopping. All right, so we're on ground. Brakes are set. Let's get our taxi lights off. And this is the best part. Nope, go back down to taxi. I was just trying to ensure that you are on taxi. The best part about it is you don't have to worry about engine power right now. This is just the wind blowing at the engines. But let us get our power off. Switch these off and switch these two batteries off. Set our beacon lights to off. Now, because we do have electrical power on the aircraft, we're not going to turn our nav lights off. But all in all, this was a pretty cool. The aircraft did handle very well up to that 27 knot crosswind. The fact of the matter is, it's very low. So once the aircraft gets like about 20 feet, you have to keep going down even lower until you hear 10 feet. That's when you actually need to flare because of how low to the ground this is. Look at that. This is all the wind. This is not even me having any power, and the engines are off and they are windmilling very, very fast. So there's a nice little hole there. All right, so right now we're gonna go ahead and get our everything checked here. So we were able to make this flight over to Orlando today, which was very cool. I like the handling of the aircraft, that's for sure. It handles, you can literally fly this, hand fly this like, any other aircraft. And the modeling itself, in terms of the flight model, it is very, 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 very good. It's excellent. A few things that we need to get worked on in, future updates. That is definitely something that they need to work on. However, hand flying this aircraft is like, it's basically like you gotta fly this thing by hand. Although it is designed to be more autopilot focused. However, it is perfect to hand fly. So if you're doing like short hops or small island hops or anything like that, and you want to just feel this aircraft, I flew this with that 27 to 30 knot crosswind, and you can literally feel what the aircraft is doing because of how well modeled it is. Um, I mean, the it can be down to the controls as well. However, it is a pretty well designed aircraft, and I can definitely say that we are on the right track here with this aircraft. And um, if they keep to this type of design, I can tell that the real aircraft will be an amazing aircraft as well. But all in all, I can give this definitely for now an 8 out of 10 due to the sounds. We do have issues with our sounds, and it's not following the proper flight plan that we have loaded up. However, these are minor things that will, from what I understand, will get buffed out and I expect to see good things out of this aircraft, moving forward. So looking forward to the new update. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off here, so that I could maybe get another flight in. I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna fly, but this aircraft is amazing. So let's go ahead and shut our aircraft down. So battery 1 and battery 2 are off. Our power for our engines is off. Avionics master is going off, and our battery master is going off. Let's switch off our nav lights. Seeing that we no longer have power in the aircraft, and let's open and let's go to that door. That looks beautiful. That is amazing. I love it. Look at that. That is like that's our cargo doors, and this would definitely be where we would call our battery charger. Um, I love these views. Checking your tire. I wonder if they are gonna design some way for us to check tires and so on. That would be cool. Um, for wear and tear and those types of good stuff. All right, we are all good. Alrighty, guys. Well, I do hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and thank you so much for joining us here. I do know that we did have some pretty bad stuttering during the stream. However, that is an OBS issue, and that was not part of the flight itself. I may rewatch to see if it does change. However, OBS had me stuttering pretty bad, and I'll see if we can get that fixed for the next stream. The next stream that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna fly the Alice out of here and try to move either down south towards the Cayman Islands or to the Bahamas, and we can see if we can visit the Bahamas and the Caribbean as just a showcase of this beautiful aircraft. So I hope you guys remain safe, and thank you so much for joining.